So some of you have basically probably ended up seeing this, but the iPhone XS and the iPhone XR are kind of in this really interesting situation where it looks like these particular phones are not going to be getting that next version of software. So this basically means that our iPhones, these next generation of iPhone or the next generation of iOS, is not going to be coming out for these particular devices. Now, I think this is totally okay, but it is still some bad news for these types of iPhones, especially for people who wanted to buy these devices, because you're going to be stuck in a situation where if you're planning on buying these iPhones or if you're planning on using these iPhones, you are going to be in a very tricky situation. And that tricky situation is, why would you want to go ahead and buy these particular devices if they're already kind of going to be outdated with software by the time you buy them? So in my personal opinion, things are changing pretty fast, but we could have seen this quite a bit of time ago. If I were you, I would not buy an iPhone X or a XS anymore or an iPhone XS Max, but that might be more obvious. The next step is, what if you own these iPhones? Well, this is a little bit of a different story. If you do actually end up owning one of these types of iPhones, you will probably be okay with using these iPhones at least for like another year if you really wanted to. If you're going to upgrade, I would probably recommend doing that more so. But if you're in a situation where you're going to want to kind of upgrade or you're trying to figure out if you should upgrade or not, I do think there's a pretty good chance where if you end up keeping your iPhone X or XS for a little bit of time, you might end up being okay. You might actually end up having a decent time with it. And I do feel like that is actually not that bad of a device to have in this particular situation. So in my personal opinion, an iPhone XR, it's not the best phone anymore. But if you still wanted to go ahead and use it on an everyday basis, you could still have a pretty okay time with it. And I think that is kind of an interesting thing to kind of keep in mind there. But regardless of that, I would still say that if you're planning on going through and using a phone in any caliber, you might be better off upgrading your phone sooner rather than later. And because these iPhones are not getting iOS 19, you might want to start looking for a different device when it comes down to it. So in terms of that kind of covers it up there. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that'll mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.